Hi students, today we are going to talk about the next step of the reproduction, and that is fertilization. We know that this is a very important step. Why it is important? Because it is the step which helps in the formation of zygote. So in this session we are going to talk about what is fertilization, their types, and what is the difference between internal and external fertilization. So what do you understand by fertilization? Look, in a simple word, if you want to understand, it is the simply the fusion of male and a female gamete. And we know that the female gamete is known as ovum and male gamete is known as sperm. So the fusion of ovum and sperm result into zygote, and this process is called fertilization. Understood? So how does this fertilization actually occurs in human female? What happens when the sperm come in contact with an ovum? Only one sperm gets the chance to fuse with an ovum. As we know that thousands of sperms get released, but out of thousands only one sperm get the chance to fuse with an ovum. Such fusion of sperm and ovum is known as fertilization, right? Actually, the ovum is a very big cell and sperm is very small, and that sperm will fuse into this ovum and the fertilization taken place, right? So, the nuclei of one sperm and the nuclei of one ovum fuses to form a single nucleus, and that is called zygote. Okay? And the fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube, which is also known as oviduct. Students, if you remember the diagram that we have discussed in the previous lecture in female, there were two tube-like structure which are attached to the ovary. Over there the egg is produced and the fertilization process takes place, and only one sperm get fused with one ovum, and this will produce a new nuclei, a single nuclei, and that is called the zygote, right? So once the fusion occurs, the zygote is produced, and the zygote is the first step of the development of a baby. Clear? Students, you might be surprised when you look up to you and your parents that how you could resemble your parents, your siblings. What is the reason? So let me clear you. Now, if you see and look up at yourself and your parents, you will find the certain traits which are there in your parents, it will also present in you. How? How is it possible? Similarly, if you will find the inheritance that you will observe in you, that is also present to your siblings, right? So how is it happens? It happens because of the fusion of those nuclei, because that nuclei or those nuclei having the genetic material that carry forward the genetic characteristics or the features from your parents to you, right? Now let us see the different types of fertilization. There are two types of fertilization: the internal fertilization and external fertilization. Internal fertilization. When the fertilization takes place inside the female body, then it is known as internal fertilization. It means when the fusion of male and a female gamete that takes place inside the body, and it will seen in cow, hen and human being, etc. So what do we mean by external fertilization? When the fertilization taken place outside the female body, then it is known as external fertilization. Example, fishes, frogs, etc. Now let us see the difference between external and internal fertilization. Now if you see the difference between both of this, external and internal fertilization. In external fertilization, fusion of gametes takes place outside the female, right? It is outside the female. But in case of internal fertilization, that fusion of gametes takes place inside the female body. In external fertilization, both the types of gametes are released from the body because they need surrounding mediums, and they are having external fertilization. So both the male and a female, they release their gametes outside the body. But in case of internal fertilization, only the male gametes are released from the body into the female reproductive tract. And in case of external fertilization, there is need of large number of gametes. So large number of gametes are released into the surrounding medium like water, right? So why they need to release large number of gametes? Because the success rate of, or the chance of fertilization is very less. Maybe the gametes are not fertilized. So the large number of gametes are required. But in case of internal fertilization, no need to release many number of gametes. So number of gametes produced is very less. In case of external fertilization, the young ones developed unprotected from the beginning because the fertilization takes place outside the body. So the parents will not take care of them. So they are unprotected from the beginning. But in case of internal fertilization, the young ones are protected during their early development because they are going to be developed inside the womb or inside the female body. So they are protected from their early development. So this is the difference between internal fertilization and external fertilization. So students, I hope you will understand what I taught you today. So thank you very much. Go through this video. Thank you.